progressivism. I love that term as it relates to these clowns, what they're doing to this country. But when when you see the attendance at that film, you gotta believe again. There's a lot more people who believe Michael, as does Gary Sinise, than Howard freaking Dean.
Yeah. By the way, when we put up the article about the Howard Dean, Gary Sinise, I'm gonna link to the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Hmm.
Um, by the way, it's still doing amazing. The movie has
And it will continue to.
65 million bucks this past weekend, well more than 200 million dollars in a week and a half release.
Right. And the irony of an idiot, inconsequential fool like Howard Dean is it's people like him who are angry. They're angry about this movie. We joked about this before. In fact, I throw a post up like this on Facebook. They are angry as hell. They are pissed off as hell at how well this movie is doing. And I don't believe necessarily for a minute that they. Well, let's assume. I don't know if I don't believe or whatever, but let's pretend or assume that it isn't really that they think it's pro-Republican. Yeah, they may, okay, and it's pro-war. I think at least partially there's this aspect to them, and it's what makes them so angry that this film is doing so well because they have not obliterated nor sufficiently overcome, if you will, what I have been referring to as core America, as gun and Bible clingers. And I think that maybe pisses them off as much as what the film is about because it reinforces the fact that we ain't going away.
No, not at all. I mean, and it obviously has hit touched a massive nerve, no question.
Yeah. I just despise people like Howard Dean. You
Oh
know,
my God,
I
yes.
really do. And listen, you and I think, are both open. I mean, we talk about Todd, but we have civil conversations with him and others, and I have for years. I am always open to an intelligent debate with anyone. Someone at the far left, someone on the far right, who I despise as much as I do those on the far left. The whole Alex Jones false flag crowd. Those people are nuts. They're as nuts as the far left. But I will discuss, debate, talk with anyone as long as we talk facts, logic, data, and don't call names and get angry and bitter. But Howard Dean is just the quintessential bitter little liberal sniveling jackass. Maybe I should be more clear and say what I really think about him, but that I just can't stand.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good grab. Did IJR run something on that?
Yes, both. Dean's comments and Gary Sinise's response. I'm not sure it was published this morning when I looked at it. I think it was in draft. But yeah, dude, I love Gary Sinise.
Oh, absolutely love him. He's going to be. I'm looking at the foundation site, um, he and the Lieutenant Dan Band are doing a concert at Vandenberg in a week and a half.
I forgot about that when we were talking to him. Yeah, he's been doing the band thing, and it's he's always doing benefits. I mean, this guy gives selflessly of himself and has for years, years.
Yeah, yeah, it's incredible.
And what has Howard Dean given? What has Michael Moore given? What has Seth Rogen given? I mean, hell, even when what's his name, Bill Maher, contributed to the one of the PACs. I think it was the last election, Obama. These guys, Gary Sinise, the Gary Sinises of the world, people like that are not looking for accolades. They're not looking to do what they do necessarily publicly. But Maher gave $1 million as a lead up to the 2012 election. And how did he do it? On his show, he has a couple of girls drag out this faux 3 by 6 foot or whatever check, facsimile or whatever of the check that he signed to whatever PAC it was with $1 million. And I just found that despicable. Give the money, dude. I mean, that's fine. But you have to. You have to brag about it and make sure every one of your liberal friends knew that you did that. It's just like the Prius being the pace car of environmentalists. It's the same routine.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right. So
yeah, so a bit of a head shake.
Well, and always with these people, and this is partially why I do what I do. I suspect it's the same thing for you because you just can't, as I say, it is what it is.
Right. Hey, do you want to play this? This is a post IJR just put up of mine. The video about the guy asking folks about the suspension of the Bill of Rights. Did you see this video?
Well, yeah. It's what's his face? Andrew Dice? No. What's his name?
Mark Dice.
Mark Dice. Yeah, I was thinking Andrew Dice Clay. It's five some minutes long. Jessica, leave us unmuted, if you will. Can you do that? And then maybe we'll let the whole thing play, and then maybe not. But okay. Michael, go ahead and set it up, and then let's hit that.
All right. So this guy Mark Dice, he's in San Diego County. In fact, I immediately recognized he's on the Oceanside Pier is where he's asking this. So he's, Camp Pendleton borders the city of Oceanside in North San Diego County. I've actually been on this pier. There's a Ruby's restaurant at the end of the pier I've taken my kids to, probably a dozen times. Anyway, so that's the setting. And so he's got an Obama t-shirt. And he's out there, and it's awesome. It's the word Obama, and then it's got the phrase "Yes, we can" written all over it. So he's out there asking questions. It's along the style of Dan Joseph or Jesse Waters, and then we'll kind of explain what he's talking about afterwards. So let's go ahead and roll the clip because I think it's pretty entertaining.
Think about Obama deciding to repeal the Bill of Rights in the face of the new ISIS threat to make sure that we don't have a Charlie Hebdo type of incident here in the States. Should we get behind Obama and the Congress to support the repeal of the Bill of Rights to make sure that we're safe these days?
I'm not sure. I haven't studied it enough to make an honest, educated comment about it.
He has announced that he's going to repeal the Bill of Rights to help make sure that we can keep everybody safe here in the homeland. Is that the right decision? Should we get behind Obama to make sure that the ISIS threat doesn't rear its head here in America?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, end of day, yeah. Absolutely.
Obama probably knows he's in a better position to know if we should repeal the Bill of Rights to keep everybody safe.
Right. You would hope so. Right.
Okay.
Right. Wish I can give you more, but
hey, he just knows what's best. That's whatever he says.
I wouldn't say necessarily he knows what's best, but I think he's depending on an awful lot of people to
he's got some insider information.
Help him make the best decisions. Right. Sometimes they might seem so from the beginning or from the surface, but only time will tell whether or not it was the right or wrong decision, right?
He is surrounded by a bunch of economic and political advisors, and if they're saying we should repeal the Bill of Rights, they probably know what's best for us, right?
You would hope so, yeah, absolutely.
Obama has announced that in the wake of the new rise of ISIS, the terrorist threat, we're going to repeal the Bill of Rights. Should we get behind that just to make sure that we don't have another 9/11 style attack?
Oh, shoot. My husband would be the one to ask this question. I don't follow it close enough to know, really.
If we should repeal the Bill of Rights. Well, they have insiders and experts, so I mean, if they're saying, Congress is saying we should do it, we should probably just get behind that. We don't want to.
Is it both sides you said are supporting it?
Both sides, Republicans and the Democrats support.
Well, then,
the repeal.
if they're agreeing on something, then maybe it is a good thing.
We should get behind the repeal.
If they don't ever agree on anything. So if they're agreeing on something, maybe it's a good thing.
It's what's best for the New World Order.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's get behind it.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The Republicans and the Democrats finally have agreed on something, that Obama has announced his decision to repeal the Bill of Rights in the wake of the rise of ISIS. And you think that we could get behind the Congress and understand that they probably know what's best in this phase of the
I
war
would
on
think
terror?
so, yeah. I would think so. I
And
mean,
if
especially what happened overseas in Paris.
And if they are saying with their experts that it's time to repeal the Bill of Rights, we could probably get behind that.
We
right?
could, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you an American citizen?
Yes, sir. I
Okay,
am. Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
As you probably saw in the news, both the Republicans and the Democrats have united a bipartisan effort to support Obama's plan to repeal the Bill of Rights to make sure that ISIS doesn't come and attack us on the homeland. Should we as a people get behind that bipartisan effort to repeal the Bill of Rights?
Absolutely.
To make sure that we're safe.
Of course.
They're in a little better position to know whether we should, repeal these things for our own good.
Well, absolutely.
Absolutely. The government knows
they
everything.
would come over here, right?
Yeah.
What would happen? I'm drinking. Shouldn't do this. Mimosas.
Should we as a public get behind Obama's decision to repeal the Bill of Rights as a response to the new rise of ISIS and the radical terrorist threat?
I think that'd be the best for the country.
Well, hell yeah.
Just to help keep everybody safe?
Yeah.
Totally.
We could repeal the Bill of Rights and sort of modernize this new world order that we're in and just help unroll the plan.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Republicans and the Democrats have finally agreed on something, and they're all supporting Obama's decision to repeal the Bill of Rights in the wake of the rise of the ISIS terrorist threat. Should we get behind Obama and the repeal just to help make sure we don't have another 9/11 or like Charlie Hebdo style a terrorist attack here?
I mean, I guess. I don't really know too much about it though. So.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to give them the power, right, to repeal the Bill of Rights and really, to help remedy this terrorist threat that we're facing.
I guess so, yeah.
So that's probably the right decision.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants to do, it's probably the best for the country.
Repealing the Bill of Rights probably best for the country because he wants to do it.
Totally. Go for it.
Go Obama.
Vote equals
Obama.
yours, folks.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Should we get behind Congress and Obama to support this new phase in the war on terror to help keep everybody safe?
To repeal the Bill of Rights? Absolutely not. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it is.
Finally!
Thanks for watching.
Exactly.
Subscribe
How
to my
far
YouTube
in?
channel if you're
Wow.
new. Check out some of the...
The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, including the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, which are just everybody knows what they are. They were put in, and it was interesting. I was reading the history of this just to make sure I was on board. Right after the Constitution was passed, Mike, a bunch of states formally requested 17 different amendments to guarantee individual liberties and freedoms. Initially, James Madison sought to rewrite the Constitution to actually include these things specifically, but the lawmakers determined that rewriting the Constitution would be the wrong way to go. They then voted on these 17 amendments. 12 were passed. 10 of them actually made it in. The first two that were passed still have yet to be enacted since 1789. I mean, they're the fundamental freedoms that the Constitution explicitly guarantees.
And they were right, and Adams was wrong. I mean, leave the Constitution alone, and then amendments can be added along the way. Listen, Mark Dice has done these things for a long time, and he's gotten booted from a few places. We're under a minute, but two things come to mind when I hear this stuff, whether it's him or Waters or the other guy. These people have the equal votes to the rest of us, and as soon as they hear the magic word Obama, they're all in. They're all in. Obama thinks it's good. He's omniscient. He's smarter than anyone else on the planet, and he knows. He takes care of us. He's our daddy, as Chris Rock said. And whatever he thinks is what we need to do. Really scary stuff. Really scary stuff.
The critical point that you made is every one of their votes equals one of ours.
Yeah, and that's just terrible. Okay, listen, we are at the bottom of the last hour. We got 30 minutes of broadcasting excellence left. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Johnny Cates, author of Buzzkill, and you